What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Overwatch Coach VOD review, and today we have a Bronze 3 Moira. So let's get into what they write here. And I'm going to leave a part out because this is take two for me. I read a part that would have given away who wins or loses the match, and I'm trying to always leave that up so that people might actually want to watch the whole thing. Beyond just hearing my valuable tidbits. So let's give this another go here. I am a bronze and silver support main. I usually play Lucio or Zen, but I wanted to try out something different, so I've been playing Moira. If there is anything I could have done better here, I would like to know. I feel like our tank could have held W a bit more, and maybe my DPS could have held the high ground for longer on defense, but other than that, I don't see anything wrong with the rest of my team, and any feedback would help. So, all right. You say you're a Lucio main. Frankly, I think I would have actually been Lucio here. The two supports I would have picked here would have either been Lucio or Mercy. Mercy to pocket these two DPS, Lucio to speed the Ramatra. So the one thing I have picked up over the games that I have played on Christmas break is that nobody has a clue what Ramatra does. He's been thrown into comp, he's been playable for 2 weeks, and nobody could be bothered to take the time to learn the capabilities of what Ramatra does. Like, they just don't know. Now, I don't know if you're one of them or not. But I mean, I'm running into them at way higher ranks than Bronze 3, and it's very surprising to me people don't know what he does. So the reason why I say Lucio with Ramatra is when Ramatra ults, he casts that big aura around him, right? And he just infinitely does damage to anybody in that aura. And there's a timer on that aura. So you're like, okay, so what? When the timer goes away, the ult stops. No, it doesn't stop. If there are enemy people in Ramatra's aura, his ult does not stop until he is dead or until they've been out of the aura for, 3 seconds, I want to say it is. Don't quote me on the 3 seconds. I might be wrong on that, but I think it's 3. I'm like 80% sure it's 3 seconds. So if people are able to get out of his aura, that is why I say play Lucio, because if you play with a Ramatra that knows what they're doing, you speed him around when he ults and he just never stops. And then once he's right on top of everybody, then you just switch to Healing Song and you just keep him going for as best you can. And hopefully the other support is on the same page. And you guys just pocket the ever-loving shit out of the Ramatra, and he just keeps going and going and going and going until everybody's dead, or until they've just ran back so far that you guys have won whatever team fight you're fighting anyway. Ramatra is overpowered at the moment if played a certain way, and I want to just sidetrack a little bit from this VOD review before we get into the VOD review and just say that I feel like Overwatch is going more and more in this direction where when we're entering a season where we get a new hero, that hero will be locked behind a battle pass, it will be overpowered, and it will make everybody want to buy the battle pass to get it faster or to grind it to get it. And anybody that doesn't have the new hero is going to feel bad for not getting it because they're being beaten up by a strong hero. Sojourn was the first example, and now Ramatra is the second one. And I feel like this is a path Overwatch is going to go more and more down as more and more seasons and new heroes come out. And how you feel about that is completely up to you. I'm not overly excited by that though, but you formulate your own opinion on that one and go with it as you will. And if you don't agree with that opinion or hot take, by all means, let me know in the comments and tell me where you think I'm going wrong on that. But back to the Moira VOD review. So that's why I would say Lucio's a better pick here. Not that Moira can't work, but I think Lucio gives you better opportunity and Mercy if the DPS are worth it. And if they're not, then Mercy would be a bad pick unless you're able to get good reses off and that sort of thing. But as far as Moira goes here, though, the reason I don't like Moira with Ana here is because I feel like both you and the Ana are going to be pocketing Ramatra, and the DPS won't be getting a lot of heals. So I'm hoping that you prove me wrong as we watch this. I have not watched this VOD review. I don't know anything about what's about to happen here. I'm just formulating what I think will happen just from looking at team comp and knowing what rank we're in. The other reason why I would like Lucio here is because Lucio counters Sigma ult and he counters Soldier ult. And if you time it correctly, he can potentially counter Junkrat Tire. That's something I've been trying to get a little bit better at, is countering the Junkrat Tire, because you got to time that one a little bit uniquely, and sometimes you can get killed trying to counter it, and other times you mistime it and then he waits for you and then nobody shoots the tire and then it blows up anyway and kills you or somebody else. But so that's why I say Soldier and Sigma first, and then Junkrat Tire is like a tricky third option. With the Moira ult, I don't see a lot of value here unless you're able to get a couple picks with it. Maybe keeping a Ramatra ult going when he starts getting low, that could be something. But I don't know. Let's see what you do with it, and we'll go from there with it, because you've got high praise for what your team and you guys were able to do in this game. So let's see what you got. Let me get off my pen. And I gotta get on you. Why am I not on you? All right, here we go.
If it must be done, let it be done quickly.
Okay, so first thing that I'm seeing that you're not doing is you're just hiding behind a wall. What I would like to see you do is throw a damage orb like somewhere in this vicinity. You could maybe throw it like just over the sign. It's a little on the higher side though. Generally speaking, I like to throw it kind of in this vicinity, unless they're playing down low. And there is Ana's down low, so you could throw it down at the Ana. And then what you do is, I might be teaching you a bad habit here, but in bronze this would probably work. So what you do is you walk over here. Now that you know that there's an Ana there, you walk over here, come around here, and assuming the Ana is still there, as you're coming around the corner, you throw the damage orb out, and then you teleport in and around, and then you shoot from around here at the Ana, so that the damage orb and then your right clicking of the Ana should be enough to get the pick. But the reason why you would go around to your left is to try to get out of line of sight of these guys. Because if you go head on to the Ana, you either get slept or people from up above will just drop down on you. And then if you go off to the right, then you've got Junkrat right there, and he could punish you. So you'd have to go to the left to do this. But you've got an opportunity here to potentially pick off Ana if you're aggressive enough. But instead, you do this. You stare at a wall. Even just throwing the damage orb out and then doing this would be better than just this. Yeah, and then you walked into a trap. So I'm not going to be too harsh about you landing into a trap here, because I don't know if I'd have necessarily been looking for it either. But keep your mouse moving around and be looking at everything. Make sure you know what's going on in your surrounding area, so that if there is a trap, you're not landing in it right here.
You cannot escape me.
Yeah, that orb is a little on the high side. You could have thrown that one a little lower.
Help me.
Heal your Ramatra. Okay, you're not doing anything here. So the Cassidy needed healing, and he wasn't antied when I first saw it, so you could have gotten some extra healing towards him. Obviously, now you can't. And then your Ramatra needs healing. I know he got a health pack, but he still has damage that needs healing, and he does not have armor. Until he goes into his, I forget what the name of it is, but his other mode where he punches, that's where he gets his armor from. So the Ramatra in this state is a little on the squishy side. So pocketing him through this and playing behind him is more along the lines of what I'd have expected you to do. But I wouldn't defaulted you for going in with the Cassidy either. But you got to do one or the other, and you're not doing either at the moment. And then the other thing let's get off of this. Okay, the other thing I would have said is, if you knew there was a soldier behind you, bounce the damage orb this way so that it's not going to just hit him for a couple seconds and then just fly away. You got to play angles with these orbs to try to maximize value. Bounce them off of things in intelligent ways so that it stays with the target you're trying to heal or damage to the best of your ability. Not every time will that happen. Like, for example, when I'm telling you to throw those damage orbs over that bridge, it's only going to do so much. But if you throw it lower, it will stay on them more because it'll probably be hitting more targets and you'll get more value out of it. These orbs haven't been... You're in a position, too, where you're not going to get a lot of value out of your orbs, which is why I don't love Moira on this map, at least in the first point. When you get more toward the actual point itself, Moira's orbs get more valuable, though. But in this spot here, they're not great. But there are angles you can take to get more value out of them than what you're currently doing.
Great minds are always persecuted.
Okay, so your Cassidy's down. If you can pocket your tank enough that he can get a pick, then it's worth engaging this. If your tank starts getting low and you guys can't really keep him up, just get out. Unless your other DPS gets a pick, but I don't know where they're at right now. Okay, so Moira's teleport is more for escaping than it is for engaging. You want to engage with a Moira teleport, like if there's somebody alone that you're closing the distance on, that kind of a thing. Like when I was telling you about the Ana, like the Ana was kind of by herself and was in a position to get picked, kind of. Like in a higher rank game, I wouldn't advise people to be doing what I did against that Ana, but because this is a bronze game, that was open to you. But you don't want to engage teleporting in, because now, well, for one, you're frontlining at this point, because now you're basically ahead of your tank, and the tank he's blocking, right? So why are they going to shoot into a blocking tank when you're right in front of them now, and they can just shoot you, and you don't have a way to get out of it because you just teleported in. Your escape, you just used to frontline. You should be where the Ana is, right here, healing your Ramatra, and then if they start pushing in, then you teleport out. Your teleport is more for escaping than it is for engaging, unless there's certain circumstances at play, and this is definitely not one of them. See, a better team would have punished you for doing what you did, but they're just shooting at Ramatra for some reason. I don't know why they're doing that. So, what I'm about to say goes for any hero that can potentially eat a Moira orb, Genji deflect, Sigma with the shift, Diva with her defense matrix, that kind of thing. You have to angle your orbs in ways that can still damage these heroes, but they're less likely to eat it. So you don't want to throw orbs directly into Sigma. You would want to, like, say, bounce it off of here, and then it'll bounce around behind him. So, like, he would have to kind of chase the orb to take it. You know what I mean? And is he going to do that when everybody's, like, right in front of him? Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. But, like, you're going to make him work for it. You're not just going to throw it right at him and he just catches it like a catcher in baseball. You know what I mean? That's basically what you did. If it's Diva, what I usually like to do is throw it above her so that she has to look up to eat it if she's going to do it. Meanwhile, it just, slowly flies by her. And then with Genji, kind of the same thing with Sigma. You just try to kind of bounce it in his vicinity, but not directly at him, so he's less likely to deflect it back at you or at somebody on your team or what have you. But yeah, once he's in shift mode, you're fine to right click him because this won't affect that. Let me get off my pen.
Let go.
The other thing you could be doing is you could have been right clicking on the trap, but I'm okay with you doing it to Sigma. But now that the shield's up, I would be looking to heal your Ramatra again. Your Sojourn needs healing. You're still frontlining. You need to back up. Heal your Ramatra. So, okay, if I'm throwing a healing orb here, I'm doing one of two things. If I think I'm staying in this area for a long time, bounce it off of this ceiling that's right up here. It's flat. And if you bounce it directly up, it'll just go back and forth like this. And now you've got a permanent healing orb staying with you. If you guys are moving in, then what I would do is bounce it off of this wall in a way that it will bounce directly back. So that way it kind of stays with you guys, all the way there and then all the way back. If you guys are moving in, but still kind of playing back a bit, then just try to bounce it into this vicinity. And then if you guys are actually going in, then just shoot it down the middle, or, then it gets a little bit more circumstantial because there's less places to kind of bounce it. But, you could actually bounce it off of this. I forgot this area right here is flat. That could be a good spot to bounce it off of because then it'll bounce, probably hit there and then come back. Something like that could work too. Heal. Moira, don't try to burn shields down with Moira unless your team is at full health. You're not healing anywhere near enough on Moira here. When the shields go up and there's nothing to be right-clicking, you should be focused on healing anyway, but when there's nothing to right-click and then your team is at full health, then it's okay to start burning a shield down with a right-click. But here, there's so many people that need your healing, and even Ramatra could use a top off. You need to be focused on healing in this situation, not right-clicking a shield. Heal. You're not healing. Heal. I would be fine with you right-clicking that trap, not so much the lamp. If the trap wasn't there, then the lamp would be okay. But on top of that, your team still needs healing, and I would be advocating you to be healing first before doing any of what I just got done saying. Heal first, then worry about right-clicking traps, lamps, and other things. Heal. Why are you not healing? Okay, good job shifting so that you don't get put up in the Sigma ult, but
Assist me.
just because we were talking about this. Look at the aura of this. It's insane. I'm just gonna go on a little Ramatra rant for a second. This aura, the size of this aura that you can't stand in, or this ultimate never ends. I don't understand how this is not game breaking. This aura is huge. This is bigger than a Lucio heal radius. Like, when they go to balance Ramatra, I hope the radius gets nerfed to about that. Somewhere in, I know that circle ain't anywhere near perfect, but somewhere like that is what I'd like to see. This radius needs a nerf in such a way. It's such a terrible way. Sorry, it's new content. I gotta rant about it. But, okay, just to go back into the Lucio and the Ramatra thing. So what you could be doing here if you were Lucio is he's looking for other people to get into his radius. Like, you could be speeding him into that Ana and then possibly getting that ult going on top of the Ana and then picking off the Ana. And maybe you could have gotten another kill there, maybe. Don't stay AFK on a point that might get contested. Yeah, that's... He almost killed the Ana too, which is crazy, but you deserve that death.
Bothersome. Objective A captured.
The only way you ever just stand still on a point like that, the only time you ever do that is when you team wipe them. If you don't get that team wipe sound, don't do that. Heal your Ana.
For the punch.
See, like, where is your Sojourn? Your Sojourn is more than capable of being healed by you, and you're right-clicking a shield, and then on top of that, your Ramatra needs healing too. You're so focused on right-clicking as Moira, that's not Moira's job to right-click a shield. And it's definitely not to be basically co-frontlining like this and then taking all the damage and dying. You would want to be... You would want to be like right here. Because if... Like, let's watch this fight one more time. But just under the impression that you're staying right in this spot here. I think I'm a little far back yet. Okay, right here. Pretend you're standing right in here. And just reimagine what you would be doing in this fight. Low, low, dead. You're dead now. You wouldn't be dead if you were back here. All these people dying likely wouldn't be dead if you were back here healing. You know what else you could be doing if you're back here? Look at that. Flat wall, flat wall. What do you have that takes benefit from a flat wall? An orb. Imagine bouncing an orb that just goes back and forth. Back and forth. While there's a team fight happening right here. Doing the work for you. Helping you heal. These are the things you should be doing if you're playing Moira. You know, this is the first time I think I've seen him even use this ability, and then he didn't even use it right. Okay, bad ult here. You're leading into a fight where your team's not with you, I think. Let me make sure on that. Am I right in saying that? Where is your team? They're all behind you. And your Sojourn needs healing, so I'm hoping once you heal this Sojourn, or once you heal Ramatra, you heal Sojourn, unless the Ana does it for you. But right now, no one's looking at... Nobody has been healing your Sojourn at all. If I'm that Sojourn, I'm getting irritated at both of you guys, frankly. I just noticed that they are not getting healed much. I would not have ulted here, though. If you are looking to ult, you should be waiting for your orb to be done. That's number one. And then if you're looking to DPS with your ult, throw a damage orb out into whoever you're going to be DPSing and then pop your ult. And if you're looking to do more of a healing ult as Moira, throw a healing orb out and then heal and then turn into a DPS ult once you've got everybody topped off. Unless it's an emergency and people are low and you're doing it to, you know, keep a fight going, that kind of a thing. That would be the exception to the rule of waiting for an orb to be ready. In a case like this, you could have sprayed everybody down, gotten them to full health, And then as the team fight went on and you couldn't keep up with the healing because you used up all your spray, then pop an ult. That could have been another alternative. If some of these squishies here were low and then all of a sudden Sigma shields them and then you pop an ult to finish them off that way, that would be acceptable. But you're just kind of leading into this blindly. And then on top of that, I'm worried that some of the people that need healing aren't even going to get healed from this. Let's see if I'm right. Yeah, you're just DPSing with it and kind of getting Ramatra. Okay, so the other thing is your hero choice of who you're hitting with this is poor. You're going into a full HP Sigma here. You've got Soldier right there that you could be targeting down. You had Baptiste as well. I know he's not in view at the moment, but those would be the people to be aiming at, not Sigma. Also, your Sojourn not getting healed. She's ulting, needs to be healed.
Let's get back to transporting.
Okay, so all of this right here I'm fine with because everybody's basically fully healed or pretty close to it. This is the opportune time to be going more into a DPS mode Moira here. This kind of a scenario is where you'd want to be doing this.
I am on fire.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but nothing you could do there. Be careful where you're standing because right now you're frontlining against a Junkrat and he could easily just take you out right here. So hopefully you're about to teleport backwards and get out. That grenade you just took should not have been something you should have taken. You would want, when you know there's a Junkrat in the area, you want to not be in his line of sight, especially in tight corridors like this and like this. You just need to back up. That orb, you don't need the front line to throw that damage orb there. You know, that can be bounced up in like this vicinity. You could kind of just aim it and ricochet it that way. You could kind of ricochet it off of that, but you don't need to be frontlining to throw that orb. So that grenade you just took, that bomb, you deserved it. And frankly, you're lucky he didn't kill you because he easily could have. Better Junkrat there kills you.
Yours is never the upper hand.
Was he antied?
Help me.
I didn't see if he got antied.
Yours is never the upper hand.
Yeah, so you got to be healing him. He did get antied at the very end, but before he could have gotten a lot of HP back before that. Well, she walked out of it. Okay, so the fact that she walked out of that and still lived is very cringy to me. Like that's a pick you gotta get. If you're gonna be DPS Moiring, that's a kill that needs to happen because this Sojourn is doing good. And they don't get healed. They're not being healed by the supports very often. So if you're going to DPS, that's a kill that needs to happen.
Barrier unsuccessful.
That Soldier needs healing again. You're frontlining as Moira right here. You put yourself in this position. You teleported away from your team, and all they got to do is look at you, and they're not looking at you. A higher elo, they destroy you here. And then on top of that, people are low, people are dying, and you're just right-clicking on a shield.
Your strength becomes mine.
Heal Ramatra. You gotta get out here. This is not a winnable fight unless your Ramatra gets picks, but you're not gonna do anything by now flanking and frontlining them. Why they're letting you even do this is beyond me. You're such an easy kill here. And they're just not even looking at you. It's so weird. Don't mistake what you just did as you provided no value in this team fight, and you should have died almost immediately. Do not mistake the fact that you got out of there as any form of anything that you did. This is 100% on them letting you do that. And I don't know why they let you do that, but they did. You should have died at least twice over there, at least.
Eyes open.
And it wasn't because you're ducking and dodging, and they're just not paying attention to you. And this is why playing in low ranks enforces bad habits, because you're getting away with doing things you have no right to be doing or surviving against, and it's just they're not even looking at you. You need to get out immediately. That you don't stand in front of a window. Get out, get out. Yep, good. Do not pop alt. Get out. Get out. There's nothing for you here. Get out. I don't know why that... I don't know why that mage just did that, because all her healers are there. She would have just been healed, and she could have just focused you down with her spray. But again, playing in a low rank is enforcing a bad habit. Because you probably feel like, oh, I made that Mei, and you did make the Mei shoot up a wall, but the Mei didn't need to do that. That's the point I'm trying to make. That Mei could have gotten healed and should have been healed, and then she could have just walked into you and sprayed you down, and then you would have either had to teleport out or you would have died, or maybe you could have shot a healing orb out and made the fight go longer. But, you know, a better team, again, would have just pinged or called out that flank you were trying to do and just walked up on you again. So again, you're frontlining, or you're close to frontlining. Your teammates need healing. If I'm in this position, I'm just looking back at my team and then healing. However, there's a shield there, so you might have to wait for that shield to get taken down. Or you just shoot a healing orb back at your team. But if I were you, I would be backing up and playing behind my tank here. Okay, so the one thing I'll give you credit for, you wait for the rock, at least I'm hoping that's what you're doing, is you waited for the rock to go out so that you don't get stunned out of your ult, and then you throw your ult down. However, nobody here is available to be picked unless there's just a lapse of healing being done by somebody. Like, I'm guessing you're going to go for the Baptiste, so if Deanna just doesn't heal him, or her aim is so bad that she can't heal him, you might get that pick, maybe. In a higher game, that there's nothing for you here, though. And I don't like that you're frontlining in front of your whole team while ulting. You have teammates that need healing. You should be playing behind them, healing them, and then whatever room is left in your beam to do damage, angle it so that, like, you're going through your tank and then into the enemy team, or through your Sojourn or Anna or whoever needs the healing. That's where you should be doing this. But to be doing this ultimate without having an orb out and then without healing your team just feels very selfish to me. So see how you didn't do anything with that. You forced Lamp, which I guess is okay, but that's all you really got with that ult, and there's so much more you could be doing with that. Like, now that you've kind of fallen back and your team's pushing up a bit, imagine a new front line forming right here. You've got your tank, you've got a low DPS that as soon as that ice wall goes down, you could heal. And then you pop your ult and you heal, and you're going through your teammates and then into the enemy, and you're doing a bit of both. Okay, that death might be on your DPS, because if you just would have waited for that ice wall to go down, you could have healed him. As long as he stayed in there and nobody was shooting at him in there. But yeah, here again, though, there's just not enough healing coming out of you. You're not a DPS, you're a support. And supports need to deal damage, but healing is their primary responsibility first, and then damage comes second. Unless you've got teammates that just are absolute potatoes that can't do anything right. But you have to give them the chance to show that first, and you're just in full DPS mode. Okay, so here again. Now imagine if you were Lucio and you just sped this crazy ultimate into all of them. The only thing stopping this ultimate from working is if Ana sleeps him, because if he's in his block mode and Ana sleeps him, he still goes down. It's just like Doomfist. That's the only thing stopping him from team wiping everybody here, especially if you could Lucio speed him in. That's why I say Lucio with Ramatra can be really good. In this case, all you can do as a Moira is just make sure he's not dying. And again, imagine if you were ulting him when he started getting low while he was ulting them. That could be kind of a nice little combination too. I will say this, the other thing that could stop a Ramatra is a Mei wall here, especially considering how tight quarters this is. But yeah, this ultimate should just team wipe them because this ultimate is so crazy good it's broken. See what I mean? It's broken. It just, all he's got to do is just walk into them, and if you don't sleep him, if you don't ice wall him to build space, he kills everything, and that's exactly what happened. It's like how Sojourn was the broken hero in Season 1. That's Ramatra now. It is what it is. Until that ultimate gets nerfed, Ramatra will win. His ultimate is a win now button. Unless you got a good Ana on your team that can sleep him. Otherwise, you just gotta run and get out. And there's so many people out there that don't know to do that right now.
I offer something more.
Angle that so that it follows the tank. You can angle that.
Receive my aid.
Your DPS need healing. I'm not 100%. I usually don't play Moira on this map, so I'm not 100% sure if you can teleport and then jump up to here. I don't think she gets that kind of height. I could be wrong though. I guess I'll have to test that at some point. But what I would do in the position you're at. So first of all, that first healing orb you shot out, I probably wouldn't have shot. But if I did, I angle it so that it bounces like that. That would be number one if I were to shoot that orb. However, I probably don't shoot that one because the Ana's already healing the Ramatra. Ramatra's fine. You're just pushing it to get the cart to Ana so that you can move up, is at least what I think you're trying to do, which I'm fine with because really Ana should be the one on the cart anyway. But then once you're like right here, this healing orb should go right there. Or if you want to get like really intricate with it, bounce it right on the edge of this floor. And if you do that and they're standing close enough to the edge, they'll get healing. It won't be as much, obviously, but they'll still get some. And then it'll bounce back to you and Ramatra and Ana and so forth if you guys needed it. You guys don't really need it though, so I would just advise bouncing it off that brick wall, and then they've got a dedicated healing orb between the two of them for a few seconds, which frankly has been more healing than most of them have been getting, at least from you this game. See, like, your Cassidy needs healing right now. He needs to be topped off. So what I would be looking at from you here is I would back off and try to get to your DPS so that you can support them and let the Ana and the Ramatra work together, and you focus with the DPS. That's what I would be doing here. I'm okay with if you're standing on the cart to make it move faster, but you're not doing that either. So you're kind of just standing here not doing anything. And on top of that, the Ramatra needs healing. Yeah, there you go. So that healing orb, that should have been like the second healing orb. Because you even said it in your intro. Your DPS could have held the high ground for longer. Well, you say it was for defense and this is attack, but if this is any indication of what defense is going to be like, they're not getting the support they need to hold the high ground. That Cassidy, if he was confident he was getting heals up there, he wouldn't have dropped down. If that were the second healing orb going up there, he probably doesn't drop down. He probably picks this fight. Now, whether or not he wins it, I don't know, because the soldier can out-utility a Cassidy because he can put a healing pad down, and the Mei can out-utility a Cassidy because she can self-heal an ice wall to, you know, maybe gain space or what have you. But the point I'm trying to make is that if your DPS are dropping from high ground, there's a reason for it, and it's because they're not getting the support they need to be up there. Heal your team. Stop frontlining. Heal your team. Don't wake up enemy tanks that are full HP. You do nothing to them. You are a smack from a light pillow, as light fluffy pillow as a Moira to a tank. You had no business waking that Sigma up there. That was... Don't do that. You have 2 DPS that desperately need healing. You have a Ana that needs to be topped off. And you're waking up a full HP tank. And now you're on a flank mission when your team needs healing. Your Ana's dead, your team's receiving 0 healing at the moment, and you're on a flank mission. Spray. Don't... No orbs, spray. You can be spraying and lightly getting the Sojourn here. On top of that, your Ramatra needs healing. Okay, you might have answered my question, because that actually looked like a pretty decent teleport attempt to get up there. You might not be able to teleport up there. I'm still not 100% sure until I try it, but that attempt, I think, is enough to tell me it's too high, but like I said, I'm usually Lucio on this map, so...
Surrender to my will.
Okay, if you're gonna ult here, I hope it's to heal your teammates, because you've got a lot of damage to be making up. Healing, I mean, to make up here. Nope, you're just focusing a tank. I don't care that that ultimate got the killing blow on Sigma. You need to be healing your team more. Okay, that's a good teleport and chase down. That kind of DPS Moira play I love to see. That is good. That is what you should be doing. A lot of what I've been ripping you apart for is you shouldn't be doing, but that right there is a good example of what to do as a Moira.
That will be all.
Your Sojourn needs healing again. If there's one thing I hope you're taking out of this, is to pay attention to what your DPS are doing. I've been seeing Sojourn quite a bit in the kill feed, and they're always low. And I'll be totally honest with you, if I'm in a mood and I'm playing this game and I'm playing Sojourn the way they're getting picks, and I'm not getting healing, you're gonna get an earful from me. Which is also why you shouldn't play Tilted.
5, 4, 3.
But this isn't a perfect world. Anyway, Moira with this team count. Okay, so we went from Ana to Kiriko. I don't like the Kiriko pick, to be honest here. I think Ana, I would have been looking for Ana or Mercy out of our Kiriko player. And Moira on defense. Okay, so between the two of you, I would have liked to have seen a Mercy. For you, for alternate heroes to play, Mercy or Lucio. And then a side note for this player, Anna. My A got kind of cut off, but yeah, Anna or Mercy for either of you, and then Lucio would be the other one I wouldn't mind seeing from you. In terms of alternate supports to pick here, I definitely think the Sojourn's worth a Mercy pocket at this point, and frankly, I wouldn't even be shocked if this guy wouldn't be all that bad at it either, because you guys did fairly good on attack, considering all the DPSing that you were doing on Moira anyway. So they're still getting good value. Anyway.
One. Attackers
I'm
incoming.
in third person mode. There we go. So, okay, places that I would expect you to start at would be up on high ground. I would rather you be up here and then shooting an orb down on them, like a damage orb, just for, it's kind of inconsequential damage, but it's a way to build your ult faster. It's a way to maybe pick up, maybe lower a DPS enough for your, a healer or a DPS enough for your DPS to get a killing blow. In the case of this situation, maybe Soldier gets a good grenade off of your damage orb and it turns into a killing blow. If Sojourn can build enough charge for a railgun, maybe she can get a pick off of it. You know, and it might make them uncomfortable if you can throw it in a way where normally they wouldn't be taking too much damage, like if they're playing over, over here, something like that. When you're playing down here, you don't get the greatest of angles, since I accidentally clicked what I clicked. But you can shoot one kind of down here, and you can kind of shoot one down there. My only issue with this is you don't have as good of sight lines as if you were up on the high ground up there. And you can kind of pick and choose when to throw it, where here you're a little bit more blind and you're just going to kind of throw it at the first opportunity, which would be that Junkrat, which may not be the best thing to throw the orb at. Not the worst either, but might not be the best. And then on top of that, now your Soldier needs healing and nobody's up there to heal him. And now that damage orb just turned into a healing orb that did what? 20 something healing, if that, and now it's just going off into space. Heal your Soldier. Okay, that was a good pick. Wait, there was a pick there, wasn't there? I thought I heard the noise that there was a pick. What did I just hear? Okay, so heal your Soldier.
Succumb to your end.
Oh, that was a concussion. Okay.
Your end is within my reach.
Okay, so yeah, that's unfortunate. The Mei blocked your damage orb. Yeah. I don't know what you're doing by frontlining the Mei wall, though. So, okay, one thing you could have done when that Mei wall went up, let me go into this. This I know you can do. You can walk to about roughly about right here and teleport and jump up, and you can get up here. I know this can be done because I will play Moira on defense on this map, and I do this a lot where I'll teleport and I'll go up here, and then you could heal your Sojourn, but then you could also have potentially healed your Ramatra. I don't actually, you probably wouldn't have because you didn't have your healing orb. Because you could have technically heal orbed him, or you might have been able to draw. Let's see, where was this? Let's see, what kind of. Okay, so if you go back here and jump up I'm just curious what you would have seen if you would have been up. So you would have been able to heal him if you were like really quick to do that. Granted, I get you wouldn't have known to do that in this game, but I'm just saying, like, if you would have like immediately done this, I'm just curious what you would have seen. So if you're up here, you could have looked down, you could have sprayed him a little bit. They might look up at you, which might buy him a little bit more time to survive, and then you just back off, heal your Sojourn. You could even fall back to over here and then throw a damage orb this way too, assuming the Ramatra gets out or is fine. And then just look at all the damage that could be dealing to the, like the Mei and, you know, little trickle damage to the Zen and the Winston and so forth. But this isn't doing anything. I don't know what you're trying to do here. I guess you're just hoping somebody walks into that room and maybe you can damage them, but this... That there wasn't the play, though.
I saw that.
Okay, so Mei's dead. That's good. That's not an even trade, though, Mei for Ramatra. But it's something. So right here, so again, right here, what I would be doing is teleporting into that window and then healing your Sojourn. And then maybe this might be worth maybe going on a flank route because Kiriko can heal the soldier, and then you could heal the Sojourn, and then, you know, throw off a damage orb or something to maybe help the Sojourn get a pick. That's what I would be looking for here. But that Sojourn, I think you threw the wrong orb there by mistake. This is terrible. What are you doing? You, if you don't die here, this Junkrat needs to never play Junkrat again. What is this Junkrat doing? Were they reloading? Okay. What does this Junkrat see? They're full clipped and they still have a bomb. They use the bomb to get you down to 1. Wow, that Junkrat's bad. Okay, yeah. Again, another example of being in a low rank and the low rank enabling a bad habit. What you did there was wrong, and even though you got the pick, you shouldn't have been in that position to do that. Now, I'm fine with you throwing the damage orb in there, and if he falls down to 1, maybe you try to do it from a distance, like you try to use your range from your right click to see if you can pick him, but you don't want to be face to face with a Junkrat as Moira, and that's it. You should have died there. And you did die, but you got a pick off of it that you had no business getting. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you shouldn't be dead here, but 2, that whole interaction just shouldn't have happened either. It's a very bronze interaction, and I'm not even saying that because of what you did. It's because the Junkrat should have punished you there.
Process begins again.
So, gonna fast forward till you're back. Okay, you got to be careful with your positioning here. They're not in range to be right-clicked, and if you're not looking to throw a damage orb, and you're not because you didn't do it, don't stand in a place that you can take damage. You're just wait. Just wait. When you're on defense, it's fine to, and then you're playing support, it's fine to just hold back and wait a bit. Now your Ramatra needs healing, and it looks like your Sojourn's about to be taking damage. So you could teleport up there and be pocketing your Sojourn, or topping off your Ramatra. Either one is fine here. Okay, the shield's down. You should not be standing here anymore. So, why I don't like your positioning is because when that shield goes down, you've got a Junkrat right here looking at you. Now, granted, we've seen what he's capable of doing. However, when you teleport backwards, you've now lost your escapability for when that Winston wants to jump in. if that Winston were playing better and he saw you teleport backwards, a better Winston would jump in on you and go for you first, and you wouldn't be able to do anything about it. And if he puts his dome down and Kiriko's not right next to you, she's not going to be able to save you either unless she puts herself in a position to get killed too. Because she could teleport to you and be inside the dome, but is that really going to be the best thing for her and the team? Depends. But these are the things you should be thinking about. And again, your rank is enabling bad habits because a better Winston dives in on you here. However, he's backing up. Maybe it's because the Mei died. I don't know. I'm not really sure why he's backing up because he's full health and they got to make something happen here. Okay, so that damage orb I like, and you could be moving up a little. Well, yeah, stay where you're at. This is a bad dome. I gotta sneeze. Excuse me. So this dome doesn't do anything because his team's not behind the Winston. So I don't really know what the Winston's doing. This team's not being aggressive enough to get value off of this Winston is basically what's happening here. Okay, pocket your soldier. Pocket your soldier. Where did he? Oh, he died. Soon as you hear your soldier ulting,
Misery made manifest.
so like there's all these people standing in front of you that need healing. And Kiriko's the one doing it. And the reason I know that is, I mean, one, because we're watching you, but two, because of the ult charge difference. Like, they're doubling your ult charge. But right here, I don't know why he dropped that healing pad the way he dropped it. He should have held that for deeper in. But the second you hear the soldier ulting, just start spraying him so that you enable him to make a play. I don't like this ult, but you got to work with what your team is doing, right? If I were that soldier, I would have waited for that so that because they're very easy to just retreat, get around the corner, and then the soldier's got to like really overextend to get a kill here. If he waits for the enemy team to dive on this point and then he ults, then they lose out on a lot of different places to run and whatnot. There are places, but this is a more open area, this point. He's pushing them back into spawn, so I'm not a big fan of this soldier ult, but the point is that's not something you can control. What you can control is that this soldier lives through his entire ult, and you should be healing him here. Just holding your spray button down on him. You're at full spray. You might as well start using it. But instead, he just he walks into a window. Another reason why I don't like that ult. So that's a pretty good window. It just knocked out another ult. So at this point now, just hang back. So now the Winston's gonna dive in. Heal your tank. Heal your yeah. This fight's over now. They got it. Heal your soldier. This is a terrible Kiriko ult. But your Sojourn, again, not getting heals. Your Kiriko also not getting heals. Yeah, this is a bad Kiriko ult. But the way you handled it wasn't good either, but I'll give you a pass on that because that really wasn't going to be winnable anyway unless that Sojourn just really pops off. But you just aren't healing them. You could have healed your Kiriko, but odds are that wouldn't have really netted you anything other than a stagger anyway. What are you doing? What is this? Why are you diving into them alone? Why are you doing this? Yeah, they finally stopped ignoring you, but the second you teleport away, it's like out of sight, out of mind, and the Winston just has no clue where you are. A better Winston will kill you here. A better Winston will just figure out where you teleport out of, jump on you, and kill you. You should be dead here again. This is another example of just playing in bronze and poor players enabling bad habits. That teleport into that team, terrible. Do not ever do that again. Okay, you need to be healing here. Right-clicking a ulting Winston, you're not doing anything to him. Who will do something to him is your Ramatra and your Sojourn, who you never heal, and they're always low. Heal your DPS. You are not a DPS. Heal your DPS. Hey, they finally got healed. No, 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 no. You do not need to use your ult to heal this. You could have topped them off just fine on your own, just holding your spray button down and saving this ult. I'll when I see an opportunity, I'll show it to you when this ult would have been better. Unless you're gonna get this Junkrat. Nope. Yeah, no, that was not a good ult, and nor was I expecting it to be. But so once again, now you're holding right click on a shield. Your Sojourn desperately needing healing again. Your tank is at half health, and their healer is right clicking a Winston bubble. Come on, heal your team, please. So, right concept with the healing orb, but bad execution. This area is very easy to just bounce orbs off of these walls, off of all. I'm not even going to draw a line. Take this off. You see all the buildings around you. Bounce the orb off of the building so it's ricocheting left to right, not up and down. The second it goes up, it's gone forever. Stop right-clicking on a nearly full HP Winston and heal your team. Your healer needs healing. The soldier needs healing. You're not doing anything by doing this. You don't do damage to tanks that causes any kind of significance. Heal your team. Heal your team. The one good thing, I don't know why the Mei doesn't like you, but the one good thing that came out of this is they over-ulted. The Junkrat used Tire when they shouldn't have used Tire. That's the good thing.
Now, to start anew.
Actually, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm too far back. Okay.
Mine.
Example time. Imagine you didn't ult. I told you I was going to point out a time that you could have saved your ult and used it. Imagine you haven't ulted yet. Mei pops her ultimate right here. You still have your teleport. I saw it on the cooldown. You still have it. You teleport back to here. Like right here, give or take. And you pop your ultimate. Look what you would have in your vision if you ulted right here. Let's just watch this fight again. Look at all this healing you could be doing. And on top of that, look at all the damage you could have been doing while you were healing him. Now, the one thing I will say is that at that point, assuming you save that fight from the Mei, the Junkrat Tire is going to take you guys out. So ultimately, this is a lost fight. But at least you're doing more with your ultimate than what you would have done with what you did with it. All I'm trying to do here is show you the value of using your Moira ult at a more proper time than just yeeting it out around a corner blindly, which is what you basically did. Okay. Let's get to the next team fight. So the good thing is that you all died around the same time. So you guys can go in together on this next team fight. The unfortunate thing is you guys weren't able to contest the cart in that little courtyard area, because that's a good spot to hold at. Okay, so there's a pick. You gotta be healing here. Heal. I'm not sure why you're teleporting into them, which is at this point now their spawn area, because they got the point, so they're spawning like right over here. So this I don't know what you're hoping to do here. Frankly, I don't know why the Winston dropped his dome there. Yeah, I don't know. That's heal your team. Heal your team, heal your team. Your whole team, not just the tank. So the reason why I don't like what you're doing here is because the Baptiste that you're trying to kill has the Zen orb on him. You're not going to outdamage that. So this right here is putting you in a really awkward spot. And then once again, your DPS needs heals, and they're not getting it from you. You should be with your team here. So now you basically got to wait until your teleport's back, and then you can try to teleport to them. Meanwhile, if you're anybody else on this team, oh, our DPS Moira is out of position, not doing anything again. You see how this works when people get tilted at DPS Moiras that go for things they can't actually kill, and then they're just out of the fight? Frankly, if the Baptiste were in comms, he could have pinged you, he could have called it out, and the whole team could have jumped you and you would have died. A better team kills you here, and this is just another example of bronze games enabling bad behavior. Now, because they haven't found you, killed you, communicated you're there, you maybe could try to pick off the Zen, but the Baptiste is likely just going to heal him. So what you might be able to do is go back onto the Baptiste, because I'm kind of feeling like the Zen won't turn around for him here. Let's see what you do. Okay, that was fairly good play by the Zen. He walked into the Winston orb and got away from you, and then the Baptiste covered him. I mean, that's all relatively good play there. I mean, I'd like to see them actually shooting at you and trying to punish your terrible positioning, but the enemy team's playing that interaction right there pretty well. You did what you could given the bad spot you're at, but ultimately, you just shouldn't have been there in the first place. You need to be healing. Healing your tank. Healing the tank. Okay, damage orb. I'm fine with the damage orb, but you should still be spraying.
With my back to the wall.
Like new again.
You were warned.
Just get out, get out, get out, get out. Back up. That's their spawn room. There's nothing you can do here. Get out.
Reforming you.
Back up, back up, back up. Why are you dying like 10 feet from their spawn room, or however long this is? You shouldn't be here. You need to be back. You need to be in a position to heal your DPS, heal your Baptiste. You're frontlining. Like, say for example, they come out here, right? And they miss you. What are you really expecting to happen? By the time you kind of right-click them to, let's say, half health, if they keep missing you, they're just going to back up and go into their spawn, get topped off by the spawn room, and just come right back out and shooting at you. Like, there's nothing for you here.
Bothersome.
Okay, yep, good on the healing here. Yeah, so that right there, when the ice wall goes up, there's nothing you can do. I like the only thing you could have done is if you had the orb, you could have maybe shot it here and then it would have ricocheted back or something, but I doubt that saves him. So there's really nothing you could have done given the circumstances of that. You should be with your DPS right now, just keeping them up, maybe throwing a damage orb into the enemy when it comes up, and then maybe you can ult if the DPS get a squishy down low. You could use the ult as a pick. Otherwise, you just hold the ultimate. But I remember in your intro you said that your DPS could have taken the high ground more. Where are they getting the healing from? Like, off of what we've watched to this point, why do you think they would expect any healing on the high ground? They're playing low ground, hoping that they're going to be around you so that you might actually pay attention to them to heal them. If they're up on the high ground, unless the Baptiste is with them, they're not going to get any healing. So that's why they're not on the high ground, to answer your question from your intro. Okay, so I'm fine with the way you teleported, but the path you took was bad. If you're right here and you're getting damaged by the Winston, teleport back out this way, and now all of a sudden you're in a good spot. You're right behind everybody that's low. You can heal them. You can wait until your self-heal kicks in. Maybe the Baptiste looks at you and heals you, and then from here you can throw a damage orb down the lane, and then maybe even be right-clicking that Zen, and you're in a safe spot. But what you do, that's not what that is. What you do, you see the difference of what I just pointed out to you versus what you do? Like, you're still being damaged. You didn't get away from the Winston. The Winston has no reason not to keep hunting you down because he's at full health. He might not be willing to go into the full back line, but he's willing to just chase you down knowing that you're at half health, and there's not a whole lot that's going to just kill him before you're dead.
I stand with you.
Okay, so you've almost got a damage orb. I'm fine with you throwing the damage orb through the window. After that, heal up anybody standing behind this window so that they can get max value out of it, including a Baptiste. The other thing I want to point out, if I were this Baptiste, I would have shifted that window a little off to the left because this part right here is all nothing. So if you're a Baptiste player, make sure try to get the whole window shootable, to shoot through it. So that way people like that soldier can really move around. Because now if I'm anybody over here, I'm just shooting at this. That's all I'm worried about. If I'm peeking at anything, that's what I'm peeking at. And just, like a Zen right click down this area versus, all of that, it makes a difference. And it could result in a kill. See what I mean? It just happened. And on top of that, you didn't even get the orb through the window. So yeah, that ult though for the Moira ult wasn't needed. That wasn't gonna do anything. Nobody's low. All your only responsibility there, get a damage orb through that window and keep anybody using the window healed so that they can use the window. That was your responsibility there. Yeah, nothing you can do there. You're just stalling.
Round 2 complete. Five, four, three, two.
So I can tell your DPS are getting annoyed with you now. And I don't blame them. I would be annoyed with the way you're playing Moira. This guy is shaking his head at you. I don't blame him. And I'm not trying to demoralize you, but imagine being the DPS on this team and you're getting what you're doing as Moira. You're not healing your DP. You're not healing nearly enough. I would actually love to know what your healing numbers were in this game versus the other healer and even the healers on the enemy team. I'm willing to bet the Zen is out healing you right now. And that's terrible. Zen is currently one of my worst rated healers in the game, and I wouldn't be shocked if they're out healing you. I'm not seeing nearly enough healing coming from you. The way this game has been, you should be in the teens for healing. And if you're even in the 10K range, I would be shocked. And I guarantee you're not in the 10K range. You're probably in, if I had to guess, you're probably in the 5 to 6K range, maybe? Maybe? 7 at the very most, but that even feels like it would be pushing it. So, in terms of team comp, I mean, there's a lot of people to be pocketing here. There's a lot to like. Moira healing Bastion's good. I mean, you've been capable of being in good positions to heal the Ramatra. Healing a Baptiste shouldn't be too hard for you either. So, I mean, there's heroes to heal here. It's just a matter of if you're in the position to do it and if you're in the mindset to do it.
Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Waiting gains us nothing.
Stay with your team. Go left, not right, unless you're just going to quick throw a damage orb out and then go left. Don't know what this is, but you're frontlining as Moira and the other healer's already dead. And I'm guessing by the way that you're about to play, your team basically has no healing. Also, I'm not sure what the heck this is either. The one problem your Ramatra has is he has no idea how to use this ability. He doesn't seem to know what this is. I haven't seen a good use of that yet. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about whatever the hell this is that you're doing.
The point is vulnerable. Let us take it.
30 seconds remaining.
If I'm your teammates, what am I supposed to do with that? I mean, you bring them back in a bit, so you've essentially, like, I'm trying to talk on the positive side here. Like, what you did is you brought the enemy team back to the point, so, like, up to here is now free space. But is it free space when there's no healers to heal any of this? Your Baptiste died, and he's coming back. He's right there. And now you just went on a flank mission and just died. You didn't do anything other than bring them back to the point. So is that worth it? I'll let you answer. I'll let any of you that are still watching this, you can answer that. Was that worth it?
I've dealt with cynics before.
And you only had a minute. Like, you basically get 2 pushes at this, and that did not happen. I mean, good job killing the Zen, I guess, but it's a very inconsequential kill that didn't matter. I mean, if your team, like, when the Baptiste went down, Moira is capable of keeping everybody going if they play closely enough around the Moira to keep them going. And I feel like that you would have gotten that from them there. But instead, you just went off on your own on a weird flank mission, and I don't know. I'm not really sure what you were hoping to do there. Even if you killed the Zen, like, let's say best case scenario, you go on one of those flank missions and you kill that Zen, then what? Your team can't push in without heals. They're just all going to turn around, shoot at you. You're going to die. They still have a healer or support that's healing them, and your team has got nothing unless they get some sick headshots off or something. But frankly, like, I'm not sure. Like, you think about your own actions, think about best case scenario, but then still let the whole fight play through your head.
Avoid their bullets.
It's just, it's not going to work. You got to play with your team and you got to heal them.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers.
So team comp hasn't changed. Everything I said still stands. The Bastion should be an easy heal target. The Ramatra should be an easy heal target. The Baptiste should. The Sojourn can be if you kind of focus it and take mental note of where she is. But instead, we're just going to frontline into an enemy spawn.
If it must be done, let it be done.
Maybe not. I would have expected a damage orb out by now, and then either you or somebody's got to get up to help that Sojourn out. Either you or the Baptiste. Probably Baptiste here, though. He's got the jump ability. I don't know if he's going to do that. If he's not, you could throw a healing orb into that room through that little corner that's visible to you. So, right idea, bad execution. At least you healed your Sojourn this time. I mean, that's improvement. Okay, yeah, that Bastion needs healing.
Evolution is a painful
So, the position I kind of showcased to you the first time you were playing defense, frankly, that would have been the better spot again. Kind of playing like right where you're at right now, on that last push that you died on, that's kind of where you should have been again. In terms of here, your Bastion needed the healing before focusing on the tank. Your Sojourn needs healing again. I feel like you're just going to either only heal your Ramatra and just right-click on the tank or the Mei, and everybody else is just going to get ignored. Am I right? Yeah, I was right. That's basically all you did. And none of that was what you needed to do. You need to be healing everybody so that they can stay alive for as long as humanly possible. And then you died. So, okay. 1. Heal team with spray. 2. Don't DPS shields. 3. Alt with orb and not blindly, forgot the L. And 4, don't front line. And just so I give you one thing that's positive, I don't think I've done a 5th point for anybody yet, but I'll give you a 5th point, and this is a plus. Actually, I'm not going to write it down. I'll just say it. That one kill that you did on the Baptiste when you were, I think you were defending on the 3rd point. More of that is what you need to do, and a lot less of pretty much everything we saw here. And I would invite you to watch other Moira VODs that I've done on this channel, and that might help you. Otherwise, find some streamers that play support and watch how they play Moira. Make sure they're at least plat or higher. And I think if you do those things along with learn from what you got out of this and what anybody else is going to give you from the Overwatch University coaching channel, that should hopefully help you climb. And once you, because I feel like, honestly, I feel like if you would have actually supported your team properly as Moira, that game felt very winnable for you, but not the way you're playing Moira at all. You're not only are you DPSing as Moira, but you're doing it very ignorantly. And I'm trying to say this as politely as I can, but like, you can't DPS a tank down as Moira. Can't do it. You gotta pick your spots. And that spot that you picked against that Baptiste, you gotta find more opportunities like that. And those opportunities don't come if your team's not being healed and allowed to deal more damage without having to play passively. And they're playing passively because they're not getting healed enough. This is what it is. So it goes hand in hand. When they're low and the fight has been lost and they're running away, that's when you can teleport in and get that pick like what you did against the Baptiste. So this is going to be a longer one, but I hope that this was helpful for you guys. And thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.